And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the moment that I'm sure you've been waiting for. It's been a little bit of a gap between the practice sessions and now continuing on with All-Star Race Weekend, but we're getting ready now for the Oreo Open, where two drivers are going to race their way in to the All-Star Race. For some of them, it could be their first All-Star Race. For some, it could be returning into the Oreo Truck Series All-Star Race. The way they do that is by finishing first or second. And then we've also got our fan vote driver, which will be announced at the end of this race. But I'm being joined here in the commentators booth by two drivers who already either are locked into the All-Star race or have a driver in this event or in the All-Star race. I'm being joined by Michael Norman and Trent Dunham. Say hello, guys.
What's up?
Okay, that was really random, and Michael apparently is not
And
talking. Michael, say hello.
I think.
Hello.
Okay, he said hello.
Okay, I thought he
Alright.
laughed for a minute.
Yeah, I thought he did too, but apparently not. Okay, so as I said, Trent, you are going to be in the All-Star race since you ended up winning back a few weeks ago at Spartan. So, is this going to be an opportunity for you to be able to see the kind of racing style at this particular track? Because, of course, there's snow in the infield. It's a lot cooler here than when we've normally been at M&M Superspeedway. You gonna be taking any notes?
Well, most definitely because at a track like this, out of all the times we've been here to Eminem's Speedway in the NNSCRA, we have never ever been here under these snow and icy conditions. So without a doubt that the track is going to be a lot cooler. These cars, they're going to have much more grip, but that's still not going to stop the fact. Who's to say that we won't see another car flipping in the infield like we did a couple seasons ago?
Michael, you got one of your drivers, Jimmy Bly, in this event, and we've seen with the cooler track conditions, there seems to be a little bit more grip for better racing. What have you told Jimmy? What's the advice you've given him for this event to be able to get up there, maybe finish first or second place?
Well, Jimmy is a very talented driver. While he's learning along the ropes, especially on super speedways, which is what I'm known for a lot. And I just told him, I said, you gotta pick and choose your spots. I told him this is a 20-lap race that you don't necessarily need to be up at the front all the time. But if you want to, that's it. Just try to maintain your spots. Look out. Don't take risky moves unless it's unless you really have to. Just watch out for everybody. But other than that, Jimmy, he's going to end up doing his own thing. He's qualified mid-pack, so we'll have to see what he does from here.
Okay, I'll ask you, Michael, first because of you having Jimmy Bly in this field. Did you give him any advice where to be with however many laps to go, and what was that advice you gave him as far as positioning himself for the maybe like 10 to go or 5 to go?
I told him that with about 10 to go is when you're going to want to start, is when you're going to want to find a partner and start working your way up towards the front. It's not that difficult to pass here, so you don't want to make your move too early, but you want to possibly just be searching around for a friend and working your way up towards the front with about 10 to go.
Can I add something to that
Go
before
right
you
ahead.
ask another question? Like if there's ever a caution and stuff, like heading into the first turn, drivers will easily get a big jump because they really want to get to the front. So it's gonna be easy for these cars to go even three or hell even four wide into the turn. So especially in the backstretch into turns 3 and 4, like if you get caught on the outside or you're gonna make a move on the lap before and get caught on the high side when you enter turn 3, you're pretty much out of the win because if cars go 3 and 4 wide into that turn, you're gonna be sucked right into the back of the field like a vacuum.
Yeah, we also saw in the Truck Series practice session for the drivers that actually are locked into the All-Star race, they were racing 3 and 4 wide and doing pretty good keeping it together. We got only about 30 seconds left, so I'm going to ask you guys one more quick question before we're getting ready to put these guys under the pace lap. We've got some teammates in here. We got the 11 of Bob Jones, the 20 of Prudence Littlejohn. We got 3 cars out of Roush Fenway Racing. Is this a racetrack and a race where teammates are going to come into play, or basically are your friends where you find them?
Definitely.
Definitely friends where you find them. Teammates are decent, but they're not always going to be there for you especially in these last couple of laps.
I agree with Michael. At a track this big and wide, you can't really count on your teammates unless they're directly either in front or behind you because getting the side draft at a track like this is very very dangerous. And I already see that the truck's already moving out the field. So Seth, you need to try to do your thing there.
Yep, we're gonna be there's gonna be a starting grid here on the top of the screen for you to be able to see who is in this. Isaac Canepa on the pole position alongside Luis Hernandez, a couple of rookies there, and then you got Bob Jones and rookie Jackie Tang in row 2 as we continue to look back through the running orders. This is where the commentators earn the big money. Trent, Michael, your picks for who you think is going to win this thing or maybe finish second. Who's going to be the driver to watch?
Oh,
Well,
boy.
if I can't pick my own driver, because that's going to sound cocky as hell, I think if I had to choose one person, I might choose that 20 of Prudence Littlejohn. Prudence has definitely proved that they can get it done when the time comes, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that 20 car win or finish second in this race.
Trent?
Oh boy. Like the top drivers that I'm really looking forward to do well in this event. My pick is pretty much a tie, but I'm probably gonna have to go with William Duncan. Now, over the last couple of weeks, William Duncan in the 21 truck, he really has some bad luck. I mean, I know he had he was involved in one of the many wrecks way back at Pukekohe, but I have a feeling that he's gonna rebound today. I mean, ovals are more his strong suit than road courses. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Okay, I'm going to actually go out on a limb. I'm going to go with the driver who actually comes in as the Oreo Truck Series points leader, but she's not locked into the All-Star race. Jean Sanfer has been on a huge momentum streak as of late. Obviously, with taking the points lead, she's got a lot of good momentum. I think that she'd love to be able to make her first career All-Star race as we're ready to go green for 20 laps of racing, and the green flag is waving. Now, guys, how long do you think before we have a caution, if we have a caution?
Probably very soon, because these fast speeds and close quarter racing, we'll probably see a couple of drivers until they can get used to how the track races, probably slip and slide.
I'm gonna call it on lap 3.
Lap 3, all right. Well, looks like we're going to have a battle for the lead already. Bob Jones, Kyle Corbett, they're going to go to the inside of Canepa. And they were already 4 wide back there for a moment. Matthew Daly making a move, but one thing I have noticed is they can race 4 and 5 wide with the cooler track conditions and keep it together, and also the fact that no pit stops are going to come into play. It would probably, I think, be the first time we would ever have an all-star race, or at least a race during the all-star race weekend, I should say, be completely under the green flag. So we'll have to see if that's going to be the case. There's the wreck. We got a spin out.
Oh boy. You spoke too soon, Seth.
I did. Jamie DeFalo has spun it around. Wow, quite a bit of damage on that car when I just saw it just spin. Must have gotten nailed by somebody. And Harrison Langford.
And I think I also saw Harrison Langford on the inside.
Yes,
and
you
I was
did.
right.
Yep, 70 car got involved. Leah Walker's back here. I don't know if she was involved or not. Oh, and Jake Rogers is smoking, and on pit road, he must have hit the inside wall or something.
Or he probably hit the 78.
He could have, because I'm pretty certain I saw the 78 spin, and it looked like everybody avoided him, but apparently not. As we're watching this battle back to the start-finish line, Bob Jones, Zach Rogers, Isaac Canepa right now, all the top 3.
I can gotta say that Trent was right when he called the caution. It's not technically lap 3, but it's close enough. They're gonna get the caution on lap 3.
Yeah, and I'm actually really surprised, too. I mean, I know that there's a lot on the line now as opposed to just a simple practice session, but I thought these guys would keep it together a lot longer than they did, but apparently not, and Bob Jones will be the leader here under the caution flag. And now this calls into question, too, as we'll go back and look at a replay in just a moment, but I want to ask you guys a question. This is the first time this weekend that we've actually had trouble break out. This could be these drivers in the closing stages racing every lap like it's the last lap, because the race could potentially end under the yellow.
Well, with like you said, that there isn't going to be any pit stops wherever you cross the line. You're gonna stay there for between 3 to 4 laps behind the pace truck. So all the drivers, they're gonna try to they're gonna try to do their best to talk to all of their crew chiefs, and they're gonna have to figure out like who they're gonna work with for each lap that they drive, especially under the green flag, because you never know when a wreck's gonna break out, like this one did at the end of lap 1.
Wait a minute, Trent.
Is
I
the
don't want to
caution
cut you
even
off,
out?
but they have not thrown the yellow. They did not throw a caution for that wreck. Apparently, it was near the rear of the field, and they got down to the inside line. They did not decide to throw a caution flag. We're actually still green.
So I'm sitting here
Oh,
like, wait a minute, are they not
oh,
slowing down?
That's what I
oh
was wondering
wow.
too. They continued to race hard, and I was trying to figure that out. So apparently, the incident there with Rogers DeFelu, they all spun down towards the entrance of pit road. NNSCRA did not deem it worthy of a caution flag with no debris really on the track, and so they are still racing hard. And oh my goodness, there's DeFelu.
Whoa.
That was a
Oh
little close.
boy, where the heck did that? What the?
78
wow.
came out of
Oh,
nowhere.
wow.
That's
and-
going to give Kyle Thomas the lead, big time.
Oh wow, that 78 must have been going at least 30 miles an hour slower than the rest of the field.
At least. But fortunately, they all are going to get by him. But, boy, that was a little close call. And now the car
wow.
that was...
And now we have. Oh wait. Go ahead, Michael.
No, pretty much saying that was I don't know where the heck that car came from, but as we have a battle for the lead now, here comes Chris Washer in that Nesquik 87.
And right now...
No boy. And speaking
I believe-
Speaking of another driver coming up on the inside, here comes your driver, Michael, in the 3, Jimmy Bly. He's being pushed by James Silverfox in the 4, but it looks like my driver, William Duncan, throws down the block.
Yeah, Jimmy Bly ended up starting 12th. I think James Silverfox actually started near the rear of the field, and he's the only one of the Turner Scott Motorsports cars not to be currently locked in the All-Star races. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead here into turn 1, looks like. Jimmy Bly, William Duncan, Chris Washer.
See, that's the one thing I forgot to mention. With the recent big breaking news coming out of my team for next season, my next season driver, Joe Tanto, is actually in the pits, not as a crew chief, but kind of like a cheerleader type, giving advice. He's before the race, he sat down with Jimmy Bly and he discussed exactly how to run tracks like this. And being both of them former IndyCar champions, they really
Oh,
clicked.
good lord!
Oh boy! Oh, we got trouble!
Bob Jones,
Oh,
Kyle
my
Thomas.
God.
Bob Jones!
Oh my God!
Oh my
Holy
word!
And they
cow.
continue to hit the wall hard.
Holy cow!
That has got to be a caution.
I
That
hope
has
to
to
God
be.
that is.
Where is the pace truck?
And the pace car will come out this time. That is a caution.
Holy cow!
Oh my
Bob Jones
God!
took a hard hit.
I hope he's okay. Oh, also for
Bob
those who
Jones
don't
and
know
Kyle
that.
Thomas, undoubtedly 2 of the cars that were dominant today, because I think between the 2 of them, they've led at just about every lap today.
Yeah, that was just a hard impact.
Oh my word!
And Seth, I didn't mean to interrupt, but isn't Bob Jones like one of the top 10 trucks in the points right now?
I believe he is actually, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe Kyle Thomas is actually as well. I believe both those drivers are currently in the top 10 in the overall Oreo Truck Series standings.
Luckily for us, luckily for him, this isn't a points race.
Exactly, but man,
Point taken. but
He had to have been
holy cow.
going at least still. He had to have still at least been going 200 miles an
Holy
hour.
cow, the 11 just took a wild ride, and no doubt he's definitely going to go to the garage area.
I believe he
Is
is
it just
actually,
me?
yeah, he's still on pit road. The 16 of Kyle Thomas has gone to pit road, and I saw them racing 5 wide back there. So while Michael was talking about Tanto, I was
And there
actually
goes Bob.
watching this, and man,
Yeah.
Well,
That was rough.
this gives us the
He had to have been at least going 200 miles an hour.
at least I think he was going about 206 coming out of 4, and I'm certain that not much speed was scrubbed off because they hit that wall a ton. So this is going to give us an opportunity here with our first official yellow. We really should have had another one earlier on, but they didn't throw the caution. We'll get the opportunity to look back first at the incident with Jamie DeFelu, Jake Rogers, and Harrison Langford. Then we'll look at the hard impact that actually brought out the caution flag, as Jimmy Bly is the current leader. We are getting close to halfway here in the Oreo Open. And here's a look at what happened. Watch the high side there. The 70 of Harrison Langford, the 98 of Jackie Tang. They come down to Jake Rogers and DeFelu, and the 91's going to take a hard hit here.
Oh wow! And that's tough break for Jake Rogers. I mean, he was just completely on the inside, and man, it looks like his
He
car
flipped
just did a
over.
little
Yeah,
dance
he
there.
kind of wheel hopped it when the car hit the apron or something. It flipped his 91 over.
Oh wow, I cannot believe NNSCRA did not throw a caution for that.
I don't know
I
why
mean,
they
I know
didn't
it was
either.
off the track, but still, something that bad that's just devastating.
I mean, I understand the fact that these drivers aren't going to be having to make pit stops, so they can go out there and not have to worry about debris. But come on, a truck flips over and you don't throw a yellow.
It probably had to have been because he was able to drive away from that.
That could be, but I don't know. But look here at the 78 though. I mean, the 78 is clearly in the racing line when right there when he gets hit by the 91. Leia Walker just avoids. Yeah, it was near the rear of the field, but still, that's up and on the racetrack. So I don't really know why they didn't throw a caution.
They probably didn't throw a caution just because that there were no other cars behind him, and by the time that they would have cycled around, at this
You
point,
got
DeFelu he's already driving away, and they haven't even crossed the start finish line yet. So that's probably
you
why they
got
didn't
to
throw a
you got to
yellow.
think about it too. What about all the fluid from that
That's what I
radiator that
was
has
just
to be
thinking.
crushed?
Wouldn't there, with the front end damage, you'd think that there'd be some kind of fluid leak down onto the track, but obviously he's going underneath the start finish line there, so the flagman would have a good look. Maybe he didn't leak anything, but I would have thought he would.
Wow,
Uh,
really particular situation for NNSCRA. That's definitely debatable.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really do, and I don't really know what the reasoning was, but we did have the caution flag come out. We're gonna take a look at that incident now. Well, here's a look at what happened to Bob Jones and Kyle Thomas, who had been up at the front at one point. Both these drivers had. They were then back in traffic, which I can only assume was basically part of that Jamie DeFelu holding up everybody that we saw earlier. But here they are, and I think we're going to see almost the exact same thing that happened with the 98 and the 70 happened with the 4 and the 11, and he just comes down into the 16 of Kyle Thomas.
Oh wow. And oh wow, both trucks just wheel high, and he hit that turn at I couldn't
It
tell,
was
but
about
I think he hit that.
175.
Oh wow, and that this track is so high bank, and if you go down to the apron with that amount of speed, you're gonna be wheel hopping, and while these very heavy vehicles are in the air, you're gonna have absolutely no control over where you go.
And just look at how they just both completely shot back onto the track. That just shows you the velocity of the hit. I want to see here real quick so we can go to a different camera angle. There is I think we're not going to get to see them for a minute here, but there is a particular area of pit road where there's kind of a bit of an angle of the pit wall. And I'm almost wondering if that's what they hit. Let's see here. Yeah, that's where the angle part right there is. It doesn't get straight
Oh
until you go down a
wow.
little further, and that's where they hit, and that's why they shot back up the track like they did.
Yeah, I see. If they would have just been like a little feet further, no doubt they probably would have slid right into pit road, almost like how that first incident was on lap one.
Yeah, but that was sorry, I was kind of had to step out of the booth for a second, but yeah, that was a really big impact by the 11 car.
So tough break there
Actually,
for Bob Jones, Kyle Thomas. Hard impact. Hopefully the both of them are going to be all right because, as Trent brought up, both of them are inside the top 10 in points and they can ill afford an injury or anything like that at this particular point. So a tough break for them. Fortunately for them, it's a non-points event. But let's head back now to green flag racing, as I think we're going to be getting the green with just around the halfway point. Getting ready to go back to green. It'll be on lap 9 of 20. Jimmy Bly is the current leader. Chris Washer in second. Third is Zach Rogers with Luis Hernandez and Charles Jackson. That is the current top 5. Pole sitter Isaac Canepa is in 6th. 7th is James Silverfox. Jackie Tang 8th. Prudence Littlejohn is in 9th. And 10th now is Brad Smith. Getting ready to go back to green. One car off the lead lap. That's Jamie DeFelu. He will be starting in the middle of the field. He will not be a factor for these leaders, and 3 cars out of the race: Jake Rogers, Kyle Thomas, and Bob Jones. That's pretty much self-explanatory. So here we go, getting ready to go back to green. How hard do you think these guys are going to race now after actually having our first official caution?
actually, I was gonna say during the commercial break, I was listening into some of these front runners on radios, and I know like out of the top 5, 3 of them said that they don't really want to be up front right this moment. Well, some do, some don't. So we're just gonna have to see exactly what's gonna happen. But I think racing might actually calm down just a little bit, knowing how this track is gonna be.
Trent, any thoughts? Will they continue to race hard here, or are they going to settle down just a little bit?
We'll see. We'll see. Like no doubt that they're all gonna be racing hard. But what they should do is like smart drivers right now, like who are at the back of the pack, like they don't want to make their moves too early. Like back there, I see Silver Fox and William Duncan who look like that they're just outside of the top 10 at the moment. But like as the laps wind down, they're gonna have to start charging ahead. And I also see Prudence Littlejohn back there in her number 20. She's one of those talented drivers who knows how to surprise a lot of people. As we now see William Duncan and Matthew Daly on the inside behind Charles Jackson.
Yeah, the William Duncan car actually made it 4 wide there into turn 1. That's why I jumped back to him. And it looks like, I think Canepa is there, but I don't know if he's going to go underneath the 3 or not. But here comes Charles Jackson instead in the 42.
Mr. Mayonnaise man himself, sponsored truck. I wonder what that truck is covered
being
in.
pushed also by your pick there, Trent.
Yeah, Trent, I gotta ask you. I mean,
yes, William Duncan.
It's been rather ironic. You and Charles, your teammates here in the Truck Series, but the two of you have managed to actually get together a couple times in a few races. What's going on with that?
That's just I can fully explain that right now. It's just that Charles' helmet is so full of mayonnaise he can't see where he's driving, and every time I get close, we always run into trouble, like that real bad accident that we had back at Thornton.
So now the mystery is solved.
These guys are going 4 and 5 wide, man. I guess we were wrong. They're picking
so.
up
Oh,
this
no. This is going to be a bad spot back
boy.
here.
Jackie
Jimmy, you better
and
back
Brad
out of
Smith
that.
going for the lead.
Canepa was close to Zach Rogers' left rear, but he keeps it together. They're still going to remain green.
Look at. I hate to plug my own drivers, but did you see a lot of those drivers that were in that 5 wide? A lot of them backed out.
Yeah, that's true.
And yeah.
And it's a good thing that they did. These drivers, they don't want to take out the whole field. I mean, because one wrong move, and bam, that's it. And now we see I think
And boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah. Now we see Chris Washer about to take the lead away from Luis Hernandez. And here comes Jimmy Bly and Charles Jackson back together once again.
And we talked about your friends are where you find them. I have not once yet seen any of the Roush cars work together. I've not seen the 23 and 33 work together. They're just working with whoever is able to be behind them. And really, I'm not seeing a whole lot of alliances either. I mean, a lot of times at restricted plate tracks, we'll see 2 drivers. They'll hook up, go to the front, fall to the back. Every time that a driver moves up to the front, he's got a new partner drafting him.
Like Michael and I said before this race started, your friends in a race like this or where you find them, teammates are not really a factor in this, because you never know, like your teammate's going to be stuck on the high side and you have a chance to go to the inside. Like as we see right now, we see the 15 of Zach Rogers and the 4 of James Silverfox, but now we see Silverfox going under the 15 right now.
Yeah.
Now the 15 moved up to the high side.
It's got to be like a 200-mile-per-hour chess match. You're thinking, no, it's too early to move up to the front, and then you jump up to the high side to fall to the back again. I mean, it's got to be 100% mental every single lap.
But now,
there's somebody we haven't mentioned in a while. If you're Matthew Daly's in the top 5 now on that inside, he's following Charles. He started, I believe, about either mid-pack or somewhere in the back, and he's worked his way up towards the front now.
Yeah, Matthew Daly trying to get that 23 into its second straight All-Star race. It was in the All-Star race last year with rookie Andy Timmons. Andy Timmons was a 2-time winner last season. I believe it was his win at Coca-Cola in Season 6 that actually got him into last season's All-Star race. So he's doing good. And how about Sam McMillan? I mean, Sam ended up coming in the same time that Brad Smith did, came in to replace... I can't even remember who it was that was the non-commenter in that ride. Oh, Zachary Robinson, if I recall. I mean, to be put in a situation here where you could, with a limited number of races in the Oreo Truck Series in your rookie season, to have an opportunity to get into your first career All-Star race, that could be pretty big for the 33 or the 75 who he's racing side by side with.
Yeah.
Oh, look out! Gene Sanford getting no room.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's the give and take, you know.
Oh, wow. Gene Sanford, what was that?
I almost thought she was going to have a head-on collision with the pit wall because they weren't letting her back up on the track.
Oh, wow. But that may necessarily be a bad thing. Right now, she's at the end of this lead pack, and you know that she's not losing any ground, and we have about 5.5 laps to go. Who's to say that she won't come back and be a contender for the
And
white flag lap?
Exactly.
and guys, I am getting word from in the infield that Bob Jones and Kyle Thomas are okay.
Well, that's certainly good to hear. And man, the both of them, I believe, actually are going to be in either the All-Star race for mobile and Snickers or the Open races too. So, boy, I
Five
don't
laps
know
to
about
go.
them, but I can tell you, if I'd been in an incident like that, I'd be a little nervous getting into the car the following day. But that's what these
They
drivers do.
definitely needed a new pair of underwear.
Yep, we got to get a hold of Dylan Young and get him to send some huggies or something.
Yep. Now see, look at this. Here comes Zach Rogers again in the 15 on the inside of the 17 of Kyle Corbett. This is 4 wide, 5 wide, and possibly on that inside line. And there's the 21 of William Duncan. That's Trent's pick.
And look who's behind William Duncan right now, Jean Sanford, who almost wrecked herself a couple of laps ago.
Speaking of wreck, let's give a shout out to Harrison Langford. He was involved in that incident back with Jamie DeFalu and Jake Rogers, and now the 70 car is apparently up to speed, and he's up here inside of the top 5 trying to hound his way into the top 2.
If
Yeah.
DeFalu finds a way to make it into the All-Star race, that would be incredible.
Is that
Right.
the 99 of Leah Walker I see pushing the 23? Matthew Daly?
I don't think so. No, that's the 14 of
That's
Isaac
Brad
Canepa.
Smith, isn't
Leah
it?
Walker, I believe, is a little off the pace. She was also involved in that first incident, and she has not been up to
Who's
speed
that?
since.
Who is that black and silver car?
Oh, that's Brad
Truck.
Smith in the 75.
Oh, okay. Hard to tell.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
no problem.
I am
Well,
honestly impressed, and no, I'm not. Okay, like you see, you got Charles Jackson and Sam McMillan. Look at just these drivers battling for the lead right now. I mean, let's look at them. 4 wide, trying to at least.
I'm going to tell you what, there's one driver we have not seen come up here to the front at all. That's James Silverfox. He seems to be the only driver that's kind of really been hanging back this entire race. Now he's on the inside line with a little more than 2.5 to go. Don't count out that 4 car, or 4 truck, I should say.
That's exactly what you need. See, that's what's smart about James Silverfox. He knows exactly when to time his move and to find his partner to go.
Uh-oh, slower car again, the DeFalu machine.
oh no, DeFalu.
Oh, they're going to start bunching up here. They got to get around that 78, and there they go. They're going to split him. Oh, there they go. Oh, boy. Duncan's around. Silverfox, Corbett, Littlejohn. That could be it.
Oh man, who's gonna be the first to cross the line?
Chris Washer was the first across. Sam McMillan came across in second.
Oh,
See,
boy.
now that just screwed over a lot of people
Yes,
right
it
there.
did.
especially Jimmy Bly. I mean, Jimmy Bly. I believe Jimmy Bly led the most laps in this entire race.
I wouldn't be
Jimmy
surprised.
Bly, he knew how to get to the front. He would get freight trained and immediately be back to the lead by like 2 laps later.
But that caution pretty much just took away his chance to get into this All-Star race unless he wins the fan vote.
There's the pace car coming out, and we are not going to get back to races to the line. Boy, I'm surprised that they didn't tell Jamie DeFalu to just get off the track right there, because that was pretty unnecessary.
Guys, I am listening into that 3 Cars radio, and we should not put that on the air.
Oh wow,
Man.
that is seriously heartbreaking for the 3 team out of Michael Norman Motorsports.
There's Jimmy Bly. Was leading up most of this race, and he's going to looks like finish in the 3rd position here today. Boy,
Position 3 for the number 3 truck.
that's a heartbreak. But rookies, Chris Washer and Sam McMillan, looks like they'll be making their first career Oreo Truck Series All-Star race. I guess it was just a matter of right place, right time, but obviously I'm pretty certain all 3 of us, as well as all these drivers, would have loved to have been able to race it to the checkers under green.
Yeah.
Definitely, without a doubt.
Wow, so it looks like the caution flag will end this Oreo Open. we will break in for the checkered flag. We'll jump back real quickly, see what brought out the caution to finish off today's event here, and see just exactly who was involved in the final caution of today's event. So here's a look at what brought out the final caution of this race, and I think we can safely assume that there's going to be quite a few drivers not exactly happy with the 78 of DeFelu.
And I know one person in particular, but that's a different story.
Yep, and I'm telling you, look at some of these guys on the inside line there. Luis Hernandez, Zach Rogers, Little John, Silver Fox. Who's to say they would not have been factors for the win here had that wreck or this caution come out? And yeah, with the slower car, these guys had to find somewhere to go, and they're just gonna all go for the same piece of real estate there. And there you go, Little John up into Canepa, into Corbett, and it's just basically on from there.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I just noticed the 33 and the 33 pretty much was the only person in that very, very high line.
I think he and Washer. I think Washer actually was up there too.
Well, Washer he was in front of the 42
Oh wow!
when everyone else started
Corbett
slowing down.
slid down hard into that inside wall.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I seen
Wow.
that.
Very hard hit for the 17. And oh man, William Duncan almost gave him a little tap.
And William
That's
Duncan
Corbett.
actually had to go down pit road there because he had spun down towards the inside. I think he actually, yeah, he gets a piece of the pit wall there. And look at Silver Fox get held up behind the 17 here as well. He may actually hit him again. He did.
Oh wow, tough break for Silver. I mean,
You can tell he's very frustrated right now. The 4 car is Silver Fox.
I bet Silver Fox he was just laying in wait, but unfortunately that accident just pretty much just screwed him out of a possible chance to get into the All-Star race.
Yeah, and we'll quickly jump here. Let's jump back. We're gonna technically look at another replay, but just to see here how the 87 and 33 managed to get around. Watch here. I actually almost think Jimmy Bly may have shoved the 78 out of the way in turn 4. Can't say I blame him. Right there, he might have actually moved him up the track a little. The wreck's happening behind, and there you see Chris Washer, Matthew Daly, Sam McMillan. They had all been able to get to the high side, and look at the 78 moves up the track in front of traffic.
See, at that point, after the accident had just started, Jimmy Bly was actually in front of the 33. But I guess since he followed the 87 on the super high line, he had that extra amount of speed because the 3 actually was being held up by DeFelu. So.
And there you see Washer crossing the stripe, McMillan there, and then there's Jimmy Bly coming around there and crossing in third. That is a tough break there for Jimmy Bly and that 3 team, no doubt about it. But looks like Chris Washer, whether he earned it or not, is going to get the win here today. McMillan will end up in second, so let's jump back quickly for the checkers. So the lights are still on up top the pace truck, and we will come down here to the checkered and caution flag. Chris Washer in the number 87, who I do believe is actually top 10 in points as well. He's going to make his first career Oreo Truck Series All-Star race, and Sam McMillan, who's only made, I believe, 3 starts in the Truck Series, he will be in the All-Star race as well, finishing second.
How about for that rookie Sam McMillan? But once he gets to the All-Star race, I mean he races win getting into the second position, but they're not gonna show him any sort of mercy in that race.
Not at all.
No, none. Rookies, it's hard to even find a drafting partner being a rookie.
And we also have another driver who's going to transfer into the All-Star race. He actually finished 5th here today. Charles Jackson gets the fan vote. He is going to be in the All-Star race as well, and he had a decent day here today, and we really didn't see him battle much for the lead, so that could be a sleeper during the All-Star race as well.
Oh no, he must have cleaned his helmet from the mayonnaise.
Not really surprised, because Charles is a very big guy in the community, and so congrats to Charles on winning the fan vote, and Charles is probably like, yeah, guy.
And probably the unpopular driver award would go to this guy, Jamie DeFelu. I mean, once was bad enough, but then he held up the guys there again a second time. I honestly think he should have just called it quits, gone behind the wall, because he was off the pace. There really was no chance of him getting into the transfer spots 1 or 2. So I'm not really certain what the strategy was of going out there and just logging laps.
Oh man, one guy definitely not gonna happy with DeFelu, and I think I see a little bit of commotion in the pits, but that's definitely Jimmy Bly because Jimmy Bly in the three. I mean, sure he hang back for a few laps, but most of the time he was out. He was out in the front leading this thing. I mean, he had a very fast truck, and he only had one thing on his mind to race his way into the All Star. But thanks to that 78 not being down on the apron like it should be, he just messed up a lot of drivers. Plain and simple.
And I'll tell you, this is a non-points event, but it can be very easy for tempers to get out of hand. We could see a little bit of a rivalry brewing between some rookies there, Jimmy Bly and Jamie DeFelu. You never know.
I'm gonna have to go talk to my driver about that. It looked like the three had a little bit of damage on the back end,
Yeah, I noticed that. He did
but
have some damage on the rear of his machine. Don't know exactly where that came from, but regardless, not going to make much of a difference. Oh, I think actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think Luis Hernandez may have run into the back of him because he had front end damage when they were coming down pit road.
yeah,
So maybe more tempers flaring. Who knows?
everyone's
Man.
mad at everybody right now. Nobody knows for sure what happened. They just know everyone all bunched up, and then there was a wreck.
Well, let's take a look at our official results here. As there you see it, Chris Washer will win. Sam McMillan second, so they transfer in. Charles Jackson in fifth. He's going to transfer in via the fan vote. And how about Harrison Langford? Got involved in that first incident. He'll come away with a ninth place finish. Anybody here that you noticed that deserves a shout out?
I got a shout out for Charles Jackson. Now, Charles, we're both in the All Star race, so please make sure that your helmet is fair managed because I swear if you get into me in the All Star race, I will break your neck.
Yep.
Okay, I'm
So
done.
my only shout out is for the one person that's not in this All-Star Open, but the only person that's representing my team, and that is Jessica. So just be smart, please. Don't turn into Jimmy Bly, who I just heard is now like in a fist fight with DeFelu right now. But also want to give a shout out to Jackie Tang, who finished seventh.
Yeah, at 98, good run today, and Jackie Tang's been having a lot of trouble with qualifying and everything. So this could really help some drivers that are not going to be in the All Star race maybe turn their seasons around too with some good runs. But tempers flaring here
Yeah.
at the Oreo Open. We still got two more open races coming your way. These guys are going to be joining me for those as well. So hopefully you guys will tune in for those two events coming up. Congratulations once again to Chris Washer and Sam McMillan on making it via finishing 1 and 2, and Charles Jackson on winning the fan vote. They'll join the other drivers currently locked in this season's All-Star race. Also, good to know that the drivers that took the hard hits today, Rogers, Jones, Thomas, that they are okay, checked and released from the infield care center. So, hard hits, tempers flaring, and maybe not quite the exciting finish we were hoping for, but still a good race all in all. And I want to thank Trent and Michael for joining me.
No
No
problem.
problem. Seth, by the way, here's 250,000 because I'm sure it's gonna be the fine because yeah, there was a big fist fight in the garage area right now.
Oh boy, we
And I
better get
have
some officials down there right away.
and I have one more message before we go on to the next event of this All Star race weekend.
What would
In the
that be?
mobile one, in the mobile one showdown, and hopefully the All Star race. Beware of the Slendy Tubby because it's gonna be back.
Oh,
Oh my.
Jesus.
Oh. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official finish results. Overall points stands or no, not any points. Whoops. But
Oh,
Yeah, Seth.
man, I'm so
God.
used to saying it. All right, so here's your finishing results. We won't show any points or anything because this is a non-points event. But Michael and Trent's links to their channels, they'll be in the description. Be sure to subscribe to their channels for great, exciting series over there as well. And I will let Michael and Trent have the final words here before I end this video.
Let me go first and let me say this. It's great being here at M&M Super Speedway, but if you guys want to join me between 2 to 3 weeks, my All-Star race is coming up too.
Oh.
and also on my end, the Chevrolet Demolition Derby is going to be uploaded soon. And don't forget about the Second Cup Series testing session that's going to show a sneak peek of 10 drivers going to make their return and their debuts in season number 3. So don't forget to head to Tweenix, aka Phoenix International Raceway, for that.
All right, so we will see you guys next time here. Next race coming out will be the Mobile Open, so we will see you guys next time here on the SJ Sports Channel, offline racing at its best.
Tega. Get all.
Bye.